Live from the Big Beefy Man Cave in New Bedford, Massachusetts. This is the YouTube channel vlog show in which video games, flash game show gameplays, along with sports and wrestling news are the norm. This is the YouTube channel vlog show of positivity, good times, and fun. This is Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. And now, here's the host of the show, the perpetrator of these shenanigans, Big Beefy E himself, Mr. Eric M. Lima. Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, sir. Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. This is episode 277 of the show. What's going on, everybody? And we're going to talk about what happened last night on Impact Wrestling. I ended up watching it via video. Ended up watching it. So, not last night, but, thank goodness we're able to replay. Deonna Purrazzo kicked off Impact Wrestling to join on commentary as Taylor Wilde went one-on-one with Masa Slamovich. Taylor Wilde's gone a little personality change, but the fans are still taking her side. I think she needed to be more aggressive, more personal place mind games, and she probably wants to be Knockouts champion again. And so she took on the very tough Masa Slamovich, who had a great winning record until she lost to Jordynne Grace on Overdrive in the last knockout standing for the title. And then it was a great matchup. But Taylor Wilde did pick up a victory over Masa Slamovich, who, because Masa Slamovich decided to trash talk Purrazzo and basically spit at her during the matchup, which I think was disrespectful. Say what you want about Deonna Purrazzo, but I have to agree with Deonna. She was being disrespectful. And then after the match, she snapped, harasses Dave Penzer, and then assaults an official and a security person, a female security person. And, like Deonna Purrazzo, was Impact Management. Where's Impact Management to stop all this? And then Sami Callihan has a promo on the design, and he goes, and he says, "Listen, imagine what we can do together. I want your response to see if I can join the design." That's Sami Callihan. And then Rich Swann cut a promo on Steve Maclin and said, "You know what? You want to win a match? You want to fight? Fine. How about this? Hard to kill." Hard to kill, you and me, hard to kill. No disqualifications, no countouts. That would be an excellent matchup. So we'll see what happens. And second matchup, this is the first Impact of 2023, mind you. Second matchup, X Division action. Black Taurus went up against the debuting Anthony Green, formerly known as August Gray in the WWE. And Taurus did pick up the victory over Anthony Green, as Anthony Green was getting help to the back by an official. Trey Miguel attacks him and then spray paints Anthony Green, sending a message possibly to Black Taurus and Crazy Steve. Crazy Steve cut a promo on Anthony Green before the match, though. Kenny King decided to visit the training center that Speedball Mike Bailey worked at, and he had students, and then he attacked the students. Speedball Mike Bailey was upset. He said, "How about this?" Gian Miller said, "You saw what happened? Yeah. You want to get me angry? Well, guess what? Congratulations, you did. Here's you and me in a pit fight match. Next week, maybe? Hard to kill? Let's sign that matchup." And then Jonathan Gresham went up against Ernest R. Anthony, or ERA, as Tom Hennepin would call. And Jonathan Gresham twisted this poor kid into a pretzel to the point where he did a unique pinfall without him getting the ability to kick out. And I said to myself, I think once Jonathan Gresham gets done with Ernest R. Anthony, he'll be known as Ernest P. Worrell, if you know what I mean. Want to get God rest Jim Varney's soul, by the way. So it was that. So Tasha Steelz and Savannah Emmons complained about their loss to the Death Dolls last week, and then Giselle Shaw and Jay Vidal interrupt, and she wanted to help them. Tasha Steelz says no, but Savannah Emmons goes, "What you got for a plan?" And it seems like Tasha Steelz like, "Oh, really?" And so they were listening in. And then they had and the design responds to Sammy Callahan. In order to join the design, you have to go through a violent process, and we'll start that next week by shaving every hair on your head off. So, looks like they're going to do whatever it takes. It looks like they're making count. But if it's a trap, you won't walk into a den of vipers, as the Diener said. So it's going to be very interesting to see. Cody Diener has come from a long way, from the goofy redneck with a mullet, one who had a crush on ODB, to one of the most, one of the most feared individuals and leaders of one of the most dangerous teams ever, with Big Con and Angels as the design. So he's came a long way. Moose come out to address Joe Hendry, and then I say, all I gotta do is say his name, and then say his name, and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. That's right. Joe Hendry came out. He goes, you know what I'm gonna do? It's not the Moose. I'm going to. I got your theme song, and so he did his own theme song, but with Moose in it. It got rejected for football. I'm like, oh my goodness. And it's showing, I don't know what happened, the Moose, and during that match with Kevin Callan, did he crap in his pants or what? I don't know. It was a funny thing, and and everybody starts chanting, Dancing Moose believes in Joe Hendry. I'm like, oh boy. And then Moose goes, I believe it hard to kill. I'm going to beat the crap out of you and take your title. Yeah. And then Mickie James talks about her career in pro wrestling and she originated in Impact Wrestling when it was TNA. I forgot about that little part of her career, because that's where she actually started at, was Impact Wrestling when it was known as TNA. So technically, she would be a TNA original Knockout before there was a Knockouts division. So Mickie James would be the original Knockout and not Gail Kim. Even though Gail Kim, when the Knockouts division first started, Gail Kim was that, but I think, and you're talking about original OG Knockout, that would go to Mickie James. Before there was even a Knockouts or a women's division in TNA at that time. So kind of like, a pre-original Knockout. That would be Mickie James. But, take your pick. Mickie James and Gail Kim. They should fight about who is the original Knockout. Anyways. So they talk about her career when she first went into TNA, then to the WWE, then back to TNA, then back to WWE, then back to TNA again, and helped out with the NWA Empower. Eventually working a lot of people there, from Trish Stratus to Lita to Melina to everybody. So then they did a Don West tribute. Chris Harris, ODB, Moose, Gail Kim, Eddie Edwards, Frankie Kazarian. They said a lot. Sammy Callahan said a few things about Don West, and a lot of people know the career, know about the career of Don West, and he is to be missed. So Don West, we miss you. One of the most enthusiastic commentators alongside Mike Tenay, the original voices of TNA Impact, and Don West is to be. And glad they did pay tribute to him. Well, Chris Sabin went one-on-one with Matt Cardona. It was a heck of a matchup. Sabin had Brian Myers in his corner. Cardona had Brian Myers in his corner. Sabin had Alex Shelley in his corner. Sabin did pick up the victory with a Kratos shock. But then as they were talking, as Tom Hannafin and Matt Raywall were talking about the Hard to Kill event, here comes Bully Ray. And then Bully Ray scares off Raywall and Hannafin, and he points at Hannafin and says, don't even look at me. I will smash this chair on your head. I would have flipped. Bully Ray was being a bully. He was supposed to stay home. Scott D'Amore gave specific instructions to Bully Ray and Josh Alexander to stay home till Hard to Kill. And then he demands Josh Alexander to be here. And Bully Ray is not only a bully, but he's an idiot, Because Bully Ray knows that Josh Alexander is not going to be here, because Josh Alexander is being the smart guy and respectful guy to stay home until until hard to kill. Scott D'Amore comes out to respond and he said, "Hey," he goes, "Josh, at least one of us has the brains to listen." But then, and then all of a sudden, Bully Ray said some things, and then got to the point where, D'Amore, because I tell everybody to do the right thing and everything else, I don't know why I shouldn't. He takes off his jacket, punches Bully Ray, and spits on him. Bully Ray then, and then D'Amore's like, "Come on, come on, come on," and Bully Ray was like getting mad at him. And then John Schuyler and Jason Hotch, I don't know, the good hands, I don't know what the heck they're doing. Why are they aligning themselves with Bully Ray? They were risking their lives. They were holding D'Amore back, and then Bully Ray then punches him, and then also picks him up, drives him, and then tells Hotch and Schuyler to give him a table. They set the table up in the ring. They help Bully Ray powerbomb D'Amore through a table. And then he grabs the microphone one more time. "Do you know who I am? I am Bully Ray, your next Impact World Champion. But I'll tell you one thing. If Bully Ray becomes the champion, he's going to have the biggest bullseye on his back. And a lot of the members of that locker room are a bunch of lightning bolts ready to strike it." And that's all the time we have on this show. The first Impact of 2023 has been complete. And hope you guys the first week of the new year has gone. I know there's some people out there whose first week of the year has not gone as smoothly as they wanted to. All I like to say is I'm going to encourage you guys, stay there, stand strong. Don't give up. Just keep going. It's the weekend, and the first weekend of 2023, guys, just hang in there, okay? But to those who have been having a great weekend, keep on smiling and keep having a great weekend. Remember, I've been putting up some new thumbnails for my YouTube videos, and so far, because it's like sometimes New Year, new YouTube videos. Okay. On the next episode of the show, which would be episode number 278 and the 17th edition of Fearless Friday or Fridays, if you're getting paid like I just did today. And the bonus island, the first Bullseye bonus island 2023. How am I going to do? We'll find out on the next episode. So until that next episode, Mr. Announcer, please take us home. That is all for today's episode. This is Mr. Lima speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E, do it for Bob Saget Production, and in association with A Sweet Bofa Raving Dingleberry Telepictures and Distribution. Thank you for watching today's episode of the show. See you on the next episode of the show. Goodbye for now, and have a very blessed day.